Now, firstly, what we will do, we will go to bootstrap.com and under getting started, we will download Bootstrap from there. Now, when you will download Bootstrap, it will be a compressed zip file. You can extract that file somewhere, and then we only need the CSS file. So as I told you that you can create your own CSS file as well if you want your own style sheet and use those classes. But since we have Bootstrap CSS file with classes defined already, so we can upload this to our static resources, reference this in our application, and then use the classes there. Okay, so the minimum will be enough. So bootstrap.min.css, which is low in size, you can use that. Or if you want, you can use the normal one as well, bootstrap.css. Okay. So this we need to upload to our static resources. Let me show you again how to do that. Go to setup, find static resources. Okay. Click on new. Name your file. Let's name it Bootstrap only so that it becomes easier for us to reference. Then you need to browse for a file here. Okay. Browse and select the Bootstrap file and then click on save. That's all. So you have uploaded your bootstrap.css file. Now let's start building an application. We will go to developer console from here. And then we will go to file, new, and here we have Lightning application. I'll click on Lightning application. You need to name a Lightning application. There should be no spaces. So I will name it expense tracker. Click on submit. Okay, now here I need to reference that style sheet. How do we reference the style sheet? Link href equals to single quote / resource. This is a standard syntax, so you can just memorize it. Bootstrap. First is resource because we have stored that in static resource. Bootstrap. And then we need to define rel equals to style sheet, that it is a style sheet, and self closing tag closed here. Save it. No issues at all, no errors. Everything got saved perfectly. And then now we can use the classes of this style sheet. Let's say we create a div and give it a class container. So details about these classes are all there in the Bootstrap file. Even if you don't know about Bootstrap, it's always good thing to learn Bootstrap. Bootstrap is a very good CSS library which does a lot of things. So you can go to Bootstrap and you can go to CSS, or you can have on the right hand side, you can check about various classes and all. What does it does? It's based on the grid system and all. So it's a good thing to learn. Okay. So there are various classes which have been predefined for us. We just need to use them. So I created a division and gave it a class container. So this is our main application where we will be referencing our component. So let's handle and let's create a component as well. File, new, Lightning component. And what shall we name it? Let's say we name it form. Submit. Okay, .cmp component is here. Now we need to define a couple of things here. We will define a couple of attributes. First of all, we will define our handler. So aura colon handler. Name we will give it init. Okay, you can give it any name. Value will be equals to this, and action we need to specify for this. So action would be the function which we will be creating later. Right now let's define our component and then we can define the functions etc. later. And this is self closing tag. I will close it here, and there has to be inverted quotes and here. Okay, so handler name init, value equals to this, action equals to do init. And now I will define some attributes. Let's say I define an attribute first. So how do we create an attribute? By aura colon attribute. Let's name it as expenses, and this will be storing our values from the object. So the type will be equals to the API name of the object. So API name of the object will be expense double underscore underscore C, expense underscore underscore C. So this attribute will store the list of records of objects. So let's define it as an array, and it will be a self-closing tag. Now, and let's say if you want, let's say if you want to create a new expense from here itself, so you can define one more attribute, aura colon attribute name equals to new expense, and again type equals to expense double underscore C. So this is any new record of expense if you want to create. So we will not need to give an array here. Single records can be created, and if you want you can provide some default value. Let's say we give it some default value. Firstly, the object will be expense double underscore C. So type of the object will be expense double underscore C. Okay. Then we have more fields on the object. So let's define each field one by one. One will be name, the API name of the standard field object. Whenever we create a new custom object, the standard name field which gets created, the API name is name always. Okay. So name, if you want to specify a name, you can specify it, or you can just keep it blank. Then next, what we need to give it, we have amount. Okay. Again, we can leave it blank, or you can specify, sorry, it's a numeric field, so we need to specify 0 here. Okay. Then we have next, let's say we take the client. Okay, and then comma, leave it blank. Then let's say we have date here. Okay, leave it blank. And then we have whether it can be redeemed or not. So can be redeemed double underscore C, and the field name here, and let's say we leave it false. Okay, and then bracket close, inverted quote close, and the attribute tag close. Let's save it. There has to be some typing error, no issues, we will just check it out. As object type expense double underscore C, then we have specified name blank, amount 0. See here we have 2 commas, client double underscore C blank, date underscore C blank, can be redeemed false. Let's save. Row column 8 message element type must be followed by other attribute specification. Okay, here we don't need a comma here. Now save. New expense. Okay, so we don't need a space here. Either you can use space or you can use underscore. Okay.